Hi everybody. Hoping you can give me a quick 10 minutes just to give me a quick update of what I've been doing and what's going on. So I'm 2 weeks in, apart from a couple of bank holidays in between, which was nice. I just want to say thank you very much for the welcome, especially from Informatics, the support and patience that you've given me. It's been brilliant. I've been to Abergele, a couple of days there. Problems with the Wi-Fi, I know, in terms of reach to Old Dolan's office, which is where I guess will be my perch. Seen some people there. Spent a couple of 3 days in Abergele over my 2 weeks. Great to see some people and what's going on. And thanks for the support in getting set up. Spent a bit of time in Carlton Court. That's really where my base is going to be with the execs. I spent a whole day in Wrexham, which was really good. That's the best day. So thank you to Sonia and Bev again for sorting all that out. Really full day. I was with Nia as well, our new starter, head of patient records, Nia Aspinall. So please make her feel welcome as well. Saw Nathan Rogers in ED. Went around ED. Saw Ian Donnelly. Saw the whole team in Wrexham. Well, that were in all sorts from different patient records, coding, IT across the piece, and got some really good insight. It was great. Really impressed by the fairly new data center. What was really impressive about it was the requirements for that and the setup for that is just right. Not too much over the top, not too little. Provide something which is really future-proofed, and I know it interconnects with the Ysbyty Glan one as well, which is fantastic. That really sets us in a really good place from an infrastructure foundations point of view for the future. So clearly some real great work that's gone into that over time. Really impressed with that and the team describing some of that. So appreciate the patience and time showing me around all of that and giving me the background to that. That was great. Really want to do visits similar to Bangor, Ysbyty Glan Clwyd and anywhere else there are informatics people, but in particular really keen to see how some of the clinical practice works, how some of the processes works, the workflows and all of that type of thing. It's really important to me that we understand what it's like. We put ourselves in the shoes of the clinician. We put our shoes ourselves in the shoes of the ward clerk, the ops person, whoever, so we can really make sure we're aligned to making life better and putting a smile on their faces. And Ambu's going to really help me with some of that, and hopefully, the rest of the clinical team. So looking forward to those things, and Bev sorting out my diary to do that, even if it means I have to do some exec teams meetings from those sites. I've had exposure to exec team meeting. Execs seem to be locked in their offices, really busy. A lot of papers, a lot of stuff. Exec team really long. The whole of Wednesday's really exec team. But again, appreciate the need for governance when with the organisation in the position it's been in with special measures or whatever it's been. So I get that, but maybe areas to work on there in terms of making it far more streamlined and enabling the exec to get closer to the front line. So looking forward to contributing to some of that. Also, was really lucky to get a board-to-board session. That was a board-to-board session with North Wales Community, which was the Health Council. And I didn't realise they existed really, what they were. They're an independent watchdog of NHS services across North Wales. They work with inspectors and regulatory bodies, and they come in, they listen to how things are working, they talk to clinicians, they understand what's happening, they provide some challenge, but they also provide some support and observations. So a really good session with those guys. Bit taken aback, a couple, Joy Baker and Adrian Drake, who I'm going to call in and speak to, were very critical about the technology solutions, in particular the applications and how they're not supporting care and they're problematic, but not a single criticism of the informatics department itself, more of the capabilities and the systems that people are using. So lots to go out there, lots to improve on, but really need to understand and get underneath some of that. And I'm going to pull those guys in to have some further discussions and hopefully work with which is something which I think is really important that we do not get defensive when people are critical of us. So a lot happening. Appreciate the WPAS program is going live, and we had the test run, which seemed to go really well. So I've been having a lot of time spent with Paul Marchant. Well, hats off to Paul Marchant, Teresa, Mike Greenall, James Sittell et al. I know there's lots more people involved getting that right. Very important and seminal moments going live and having that single instance across the centre and the west, and in particular making sure we go with vigour to get a single instance across the whole of North Wales. I know there are lots of other projects going on as well, but that's particularly key at this moment in time, and appreciate the efforts that people are putting into that. And I would appreciate, obviously, we need to give that the maximum focus, don't we? The other thing that I've had feedback on is that there is no real clarity in terms of what our goals and values are clearly. What are our goals and objectives going forward? It's right to say that it seems that the organisation's a bit all over the place at the minute, but that's understandable. There's seems to be lots of bits of different strategies and the like flying about. There's the targeted intervention work, there's the clinical strategy, the IMTP, which is hopefully pulling a lot of this together, people strategy, etc., etc. No real cohesion to some of that, but something the execs are definitely working on. And because of all of that, there is a feeling, speaking to everyone, well, it's very hard to know where we're going. We're spread too thin. We're not clear on that. It's critical that we get clear what our goals and values are and where we're going. And that's the first thing we're going to do as an SLT, which might be different. We're going to do some workshops based on all of the different inputs, every health and care system, and moving into a common way. It's not all about delivering health and care services. It's about health and well-being for the system as a whole. It's multifaceted. So we are going to be doing some workshops with the help of Sally Baxter from planning to get clear about a common set of goals for us to focus on enabling over this next 5 to 10 years, to get really clear what our direction is. And if we're clear what our direction is, we can get clear about how we need to be organised to support that, and in particular how we need to be architected from a systems point of view, etc., to deliver against that. So looking forward to those sessions. Appreciate as well, only 2 weeks in, I've still got a lot to discover, a lot to learn, and a lot to listen to. So it's not a case of me coming in and just making changes for the sake of them. Really keen to understand the context and get your point of view as well. How can things be better for you? Really keen for people to have their input, have their say, and make a challenge as necessary, because we can only get this right if we do it together with a good understanding of the context of things. So really keen on maximising on the CCIO team, the MIOs, or whatever we're calling them, Jason, Ambu, Jane, etc. So we're very keen to maximise on that. Very keen that we're in touch with the patients, in touch with the clinicians, in touch with the ward clerks. We know what's going on, and as a result of that, we can make sure we're aligned to delivering benefit for them whilst we're clear about the direction we're going. So yeah, great first 2 weeks. And just a note, really, obviously, Richard leaving, went to his leaving do at the Plough, which was very good. And, Catherine is stepping into that. And one of the things which was evident from Richard, or what people have said about Richard, is that when it comes to succession planning, when it comes to his team, he's empowered his team to make some decisions themselves in terms of making sure that their activities and the things they do are aligned to the broad goals and objectives that we're trying to achieve. If we're clear about our broad goals and objectives, that's the key thing for me. I want everyone to be clear about what they are, so they can tie their daily activities to that. Okay, thanks very much. See you in a couple of 3 weeks if I don't see you before. Bye bye.